You reach into your cupboard and grab a tiny shaker. You sprinkle it on your food, and you don't think twice. But for 5,000 years, this exact white crystal was the most valuable currency on Earth. It was worth its weight in gold. Millions died for it. Empires were built on it. Why did the entire world go to war over something you can buy for pennies today? Think about life before the refrigerator. It was a constant race against death. If you couldn't eat your harvest today, it would rot tomorrow. You would starve. Then someone discovered that this rock could stop time. It pulled the water out of meat, locking in life. It turned a temporary surplus into a permanent survival kit. Suddenly, humans could travel across oceans. They could survive harsh winters. They could conquer the planet. But this gift came with a hidden cost. You needed a constant, reliable supply, and that turned the mineral into the ultimate tool of control. The Romans knew this better than anyone. They didn't just pay their soldiers in coin, they paid them in salt. That is where we get the word salary. If you were a Roman soldier, your salarium was your lifeline. The state controlled the salt, and therefore they controlled the people. In China, by 300 BC, the government held a total monopoly on the mineral. It provided half of the entire state's revenue. It wasn't just seasoning. It was the tax base of civilization itself. And when you control the tax base, you control the borders. But absolute power creates absolute resentment. And eventually, the system cracks. Look at France in 1789. The gabelle, or the salt tax, was so brutal that it became the spark that ignited the French Revolution. Peasants were forced to buy specific amounts of salt at inflated prices just to keep their food from spoiling. They weren't just angry about bread. They were angry about the rock that made their survival a debt they could never pay off. The very thing that allowed them to live became the thing that made their lives unbearable. And here's where the story turns truly strange. We eventually solved the preservation problem. We invented fridges, we mastered canning. We didn't need salt to survive anymore. But did we walk away? No. We became addicted. We moved from using salt to keep food alive to using salt to make dead, processed food taste like something again. Today, we consume more than our ancestors ever dreamed of, but not for survival. We do it because our brains are wired to crave what once kept us from the grave. We are still chasing the white gold. History isn't just written in ink or blood, it's written in salt. It built our empires, fueled our revolutions, and shaped the borders we live within today. So, the next time you reach for that shaker, remember, you aren't just seasoning your dinner. You are participating in a 5,000-year-old obsession that defined what it means to be human. The question is, what happens when the thing that saved us becomes the thing we can't stop needing? Think about that. The next time you take a bite,